just before we start, let you know I'm not actually a trained psychologist, but I'm just here to offer you some information on concentration. So, cricket player.
Yes.
So obviously batter as well.
Yes.
So you must obviously batting. You require a lot of concentration. Any tips you do and anything you do to keep yourself concentrated throughout an innings?
I have a little pre-ball routine that I try and do every ball. Like amount of taps on the ground and how I put my feet on the next foot.
Okay.
So I have a little routine. It's not very refined in the minute.
Yeah.
And I do some things slightly different.
Yeah.
Every time, especially when I'm tired. So if I've batted a long
If you bat long, yeah. So
then it sort of gets a little bit sloppy, but
yeah. So in terms of obviously you got in cricket, you need to. Oh, I can imagine you need to look at. You know, to have a broad horizon of where the fielders are, where the gaps are, and then when the bowler comes in, I guess you have to close that gap up and have very narrow. So is that something you do? Do you kind of shift attention?
well, I usually will. So I played last night. I usually go in, mark a guard, look at where the fielders are, and I'll know what shots I want to play to that particular field. And then once I've started my routine, it always just focusing on the bowler.
Yeah.
But I'm usually someone who doesn't look very hard at the ball. I just look at the whole image.
Oh, so
I'm better at that. Yeah.
So you say that is something that you prefer, is it? So you
Yeah.
don't like having pinpointed
I'm not looking
at the ball.
at the
you kind of
ball
have
specifically. No.
well, yeah, yeah. Well, there's little things you can do. So is there anything you do in your head before? So you do have it's called a broad internal. So do you analyse and plan from the information that's gathered? Obviously, you have a bit of time before the bowler bowls. Is there something you go through in your head? Do you look around and think I can play that shot, I can do that shot, he's over there? Do you spot weak links in the field? Is that something you do?
I feel I do, but I don't do it as well as I could.
Mm.
So I'll sort of go, oh, this is the gap, and I'll hit it there.
And yeah.
And then I'll be like, well, there's another one there and there
Yeah.
after, which would have been a better option. So I sort of do it, but not very well.
Yeah. So you do take into consideration places in the field, and then you just think, oh, I'll go there,
Yes.
and then you make your mind up and go there. Oh, that's why it's good. So do you ever have any distractors? Do you find yourself ever getting distracted? Obviously, I can imagine, sledging, is that a big part? Is that something a big part of the game? So the wicketkeeper giving you
Yeah, sledging is never been. I've never really got involved with that. That's never been my particular thing. I'm not someone who will say a lot during the game. I'm not something that's going to say something back to the bowler. But I do drift from time to time, but that's just maybe a little bit of lack of experience, maybe a little bit of just tiredness.
Yeah. So would you say sledging affects you, or do you find any other distractors, crowd, or is there anything else that you find that can distract you?
Sometimes if they've got very close fielders in my eye line.
Okay.
So sometimes you'll have when batting like this, you have a guy right there and a guy right there, especially when the pitches are a bit slower and I'm just going to there's more chance of me hitting it in the air there.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit, because you're trying to look at the bowler, but you're also sort of flicking between these two players.
Yeah.
But that's probably why they put them there, to be honest.
Yeah, so it does distract you. Yeah, so obviously you're in the crease for a long time. If you are batting well, it's not normal for the human body to concentrate solidly for 4 hours. However long you're out there. Do you feel yourself kind of so when you do have those breaks, do you kind of give yourself a break? Do you kind of breathe? Let's think about something else, or are you still focused on the game?
I'm still focused on the game. I never really. Some people on my team say, oh, they'll before their pre-delivery routine, so before the bowler's walking back and they're just thinking about whatever. But I'm not like that. I I'm always sort of thinking
Yeah.
about the game.
The thing about the game, yeah. I mean, something you could like imply is just using like a keyword. So like I said, it's not really normal for the human for us to be concentrating for such a long time, especially in like a sport like cricket. So when you do have those breaks in between overs, those bits like even in between the bowl, you say you have those little pre-routines you do. I mean, maybe you can just add a keyword into there. So say you said 3 taps with the bat, foot right, and then head up, and then maybe just say a word to yourself, and then you think, bam, you're back in the game. Obviously, not before you're about to bowl. You want to do a bit before, get yourself a bit of time up, and then, like I said, a keyword, bam, you're back in the game, and you're ready to, hit the next shot. Is that something you could possibly think about?
Yeah, definitely. I think I could do like multiple keywords. So, like
Yeah.
I said, my routine gets a bit lazy. So maybe it'll be like before I'm doing it, it'd be like consistency would be a word.
Yeah.
Just so I do that every single time. And then when the bowler's running in, it'll be like I don't know, time the ball.
Yeah.
Instead of trying to smash it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So would you say you also lose concentration in the fact in your pre-game, in your like what you do before a ball? So you say you get a bit lazy. Is that as the innings goes on, or so is that something you kind of like lose concentration on as well?
Well, I think I do it very well when I start. Like I'm actually first there because, well,
Yeah.
obviously I'm least tired when I'm first there.
Yeah.
I'm more nervous, so I'm more sort of like hypersensitive to these little things I'm missing.
Yeah.
So, but as I'm more comfortable and I've been batting longer, that's when it starts to slip.
Yeah. So again, little things you could do for that is just like motivational self-talk. So again, maybe that's little keywords you can do to help motivate yourself play better. So Kevin Peterson actually instilled confidence within himself by saying, "Be positive with your footwork every time you face the ball, just in order to improve his motor skills, his coordination, and movement towards the ball." So self-talk is something you can also do. So if you do find yourself, maybe obviously you're out there for a long time, and I can imagine it can get very like not draining, but you might have blips where you feel like a lack of concentration. That motivational self-talk can get you back on that level, where you you want to be. Ever use self-talk before? It's very similar to keywords, but it's just it may be a bit more motivational. Like keyword might just be like that sounds like a bat or something like that, but motivational obviously is a bit more like, come on, I can do something.
I don't really use self-talk in any part of my game, really.
Yeah.
I've never really thought about using it, or don't see how I would go about using that or putting that into my game, really,
Yeah.
at the minute. So.
Yeah. So